explore Thragg. And Thragg, obviously, like, first of all, welcome in. Let's talk about this. Right? I have a problem with this guy, and I want to work it out with Thragg. I want to figure out what's up with Thragg, like who Thragg really is. And we've gotten like a good dose of Thragg, to be really honest. Like, I feel like I got a good heaping of Thragg from what we saw. But I just wanted to dive into Thragg a little bit deeper and to kind of understand him as just like the OG Viltrumite. Like, this is really who Thragg is. And there, in some levels, he's really different than every other Viltrumite. In a lot of ways, he is different than every other Viltrumite. I'm just trying to get on so I can monitor my YouTube here. Let's see if I can get this. Okay. Yeah, my channel here. Okay, let's check out my channel here. So with Thragg, the important thing to understand about him is that he is different. My channel, right? He is 100% different. Thank you guys, by the way. Thragg is different. Thragg ain't like everybody else, right? This is the first, second, and 97 things that you need to understand about Thragg as we go through this conversation, right? As we get into like who he really is, right? Understanding Thragg. Now, first of all, like, I would always describe Thragg as my favorite Viltrumite, and he is. He's ultimately like the dude I gotta respect the most for being like a super solid dude about how you going about your business. Like, you're not backing off. This guy is designed to be the Viltrumite leader and to protect the Viltrumite cause at all costs. This is how he operates. This is what his motivation is. And this is who he is, man. And I'm telling you, with my man Thragg, he don't take no days off. Like, he doesn't complain about his job. He doesn't take any days off. He works overtime. Thragg is 100% dedicated to this. So when he said he put Viltrumites first, he meant it. You don't see this cat making backdoor deals with other planetary systems to get their oil rights or to get a new currency, some Thragg currency. You don't see him doing any of that, right? Thragg isn't out there trying to get a Thragg phone. He's not like, yeah, get my Thragg phone and let me sell you some, $400 Thragg shoes, like some gold Thragg shoes. He's not about that life, right? He's not about the play. Thragg is 100% for real. And everything that he does is geared towards making the Viltrumites a better, stronger civilization, right? And a lot of things went wrong for the Viltrumites. I think we can all agree that there's a lot of things about the backlash to this Viltrumite invasion that has not been good to the Viltrumites. Your planet was destroyed. Your planet, this is like you go and you blow up the headquarters of Walmart, right? It's going to affect the entire company. You blew up the central operating planet for the Viltrumites. Symbolically, it's a crushing blow. Symbolically, like your home being, that's worse than having a 7-game series and you lose home court advantage, right? If you lose home court advantage in a 7-game series in the NBA, you still get to go back home at some point. You will go home at some point. Like, maybe you got to win on their court now, right? You've proven that you have to win on their court, okay? But you get to come back home. Like, okay, as long as we can get back, we got game 7 here in LA, right? That's how we think about it. Got game 7 here in LA, right? And you would want that. And I can tell you all about where importance of where game 7s are played at, right? And home court advantage is typically what you want in a game 7 series, unless you're playing against the Shaq Kobe Lakers, okay? That's different. You can ask Sacramento Kings about that. But fundamentally, they didn't just take away your home court advantage, they took away your home court. So now, fundamentally, I have to win on the road now. I got to go to your arena, and I got to win in your arena in a hostile crowd. And you know who did that? The Lakers and Thragg. Thragg has done that. You took away not only his home court advantage, you took away his home, and he responded by saying, we're going to have this fight in your house. Now we're on your court, and we're playing it on your court, and I'm going to get this victory. I'm going to get this win here on your court, right? And you can never determine whether you got him rooted out of here or not. You don't know. Thragg might have already gotten like 3 chicks pregnant. He's a good-looking guy. Like, think about it. If you're an Earth girl, right? Thragg's not a bad-looking dude. Keeps his hair edged up and lined up properly, right? He's a fit guy, has a good job. Thragg probably can get lots of women. So even if he just goes that route of living among you, yeah, they're going to take over. Like, it's done, right? They are better than us. Okay? They are. Who do you think is going to be? Their kids are going to be the quarterbacks of the football team. That's who they're going to be, okay? And they're going to know that they have powers, and they're going to know that they keep it on the hush. This is how we take over, and they're going to dominate. They're going to get all the girls, they're going to get all the cheerleaders pregnant, and that's the takeover. 2 generations of this, and I'm telling you, it's already out of control. Okay, this is how Thragg wins, and he does come with a win, but that's not the introspective part of Thragg. The introspective Thragg is understanding who Thragg is. Thragg, we start off by Thragg's history. I like to talk about the history of the characters, who they were before we even started to get to know them, right? And who Thragg was a dude with a purpose from birth. Thragg was not simply born. That's where it starts off. They didn't say Thragg wasn't just like, oh man, we fell in love. I met old girl, and we just fell in love, and just us being together, we got our little Thragg, right? We want a little man. No, Thragg was bred. Thragg, this is Viltrumite engineering. They specifically engineered him to be the strongest and most capable Viltrumite alive. Remember that Thragg is a response to them being nearly destroyed by that disease. This is where Thragg comes from. Thragg comes from like we were nearly extinct. He is the response. He is the Viltrumite response to that. And thus far, it's been working out. And I'm going to explain why, right? So unlike Thragg or Nolan, Thragg never has this period of doubting who he is, because being a Viltrumite is central to his core. The survival of the Viltrumite is his core existence. His entire existence is wrapped around this one goal that he defines himself as, right? He has this rise to leadership after the population has been devastated. The Viltrumites are actually at their weakest point when Thragg is coming up as a young buck and expansion is halted. This is what Thragg comes into, and he understands the gravity of what he has to do. Now, we've seen a bit of the hotbed that it means to be a Viltrumite kid, right? Being a Viltrumite kid ain't no joke either. Like, we've seen what it's like. You got to be hardcore from the beginning, right? Like, no weakness. And Thragg rises throughout all that heavy competition, right? Everybody playing AAU basketball. He comes out of all that to be the Grand Regent. He is the military leader. He is a political leader. He has become the symbol of Viltrum itself. Okay, so for the centuries of his life, he isn't merely leading Viltrum, he is Viltrum. He is the embodiment of everything Viltrum and Viltrumite. That's who he is. And he's an important role. In this story, he plays a very important role as the primary antagonist. Like, he's the ultimate boss. And he's doing a good job of repping it to the fullest, right? Thragg, what we're talking about, is physically imposing, right? Like, when you roll up on Thragg, you're like, man, this dude just looks a whole lot better than everybody else. Like, he's clean. He's got like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he's cool, man. He's like, okay, you got your hair faded up, like your outfit's nice, it's white and it's immaculately clean. Very intelligent dude. You're strong, you're calm. Like, I mean, come on, man. Who do you want in the fourth quarter taking the final shot other than this guy is quite literally cooler than the other side of the pillow? That's literally who he is. And he is the embodiment of Viltrum at its purest core. Now, here's the thing. Like, when we talk about his relationships, everybody had a different take on it. Anissa even kind of questions it a little bit, and we'll talk about her in her own separate piece. And I know we all want to talk about Anissa. Conquest just enjoyed it. He loved every minute of it. Now, some people are going to suggest that Nolan has rejected this Viltrumite ideology, but let's wait another 10 minutes and see if it remains there. Let's wait. Let Nolan's lived for 1,000 years. Let's let him get past year 3 of being anti-Viltrumite. Let's see how far this really goes, right? You guys are giving him credit for having rejected the Viltrumite identity. And I don't see that. This is a very short period of time. I don't know how many people who every January you start a new gym membership, and then they're gonna be a whole new person, right? And it's all gonna be fitness and health and all that stuff. And then 4 months later they cancel that membership because they don't go. Okay, that's all I'm saying is let's like a little bit of time. It's time and temperature, right? It's time and temperature is what cleans things. Time and temperature. Don't forget that part, okay? But Thragg is like, yeah, whereas everyone's like, you know, at least Nolan would be like, yeah, it's wrong. It's all about power. He's like, yeah, he is. I'm about power. I'm about no compromise. I am a true believer. I am the fundamentalist in this world, and I'm holding it all together. And powerful wise, you're stronger than everybody, right? You're strong. You beat everybody's ass, and you're the symbol. You represent the old lineage. You're 100% that, and you're pure. On top of that, man, you command loyalty. You maintain discipline. Think about it. This man runs a very organized group, right? He inspires fear. He organizes armies. He builds civilizations. Like, you could not have been an ounce weaker than Thragg and held all that stuff together. It doesn't happen. And he knows exactly who he is. He knows how important his role is. He is certain with his power. And while others question themselves, like, look, everybody questions themselves, right? This guy's like, I'm this, and what he is like the animal, like, it's funny because I've seen some analysis. They're like, oh, well, Mark's evolving. Like, sharks stop evolving when they got perfect. There's some creatures that when they get there at their apex, they're so good, they stop evolving. And this is where he is. Like, yeah, you guys can be like, oh, Mark's evolving. This guy doesn't need to evolve. He's the shark. He's perfect. This is where he's perfect. And his greatest fear for him, what drives him? Well, it is his fear. Like, his fear of not expanding his people. Like, now he comes into it at a different point of, I also have to navigate this out of near extinction. That's the important thing. It is at any cost the survival of Viltrumite. It's not about wealth or comfort. It's about civilizational survival. After years of being this expander people, now he has fear. Now, I don't think he actually has any insecurities. I think we know what's the most important thing. How does he fail? Is if the Viltrumite people get exterminated. Like, right now, they're on the precipice of it right now. And how does he win? How does he fail? He wins by establishing his civilization again. I think he's done that in this most recent, like, endeavor into Earth. I think he's actually done it, right? So from that standpoint, I think Thragg's a winner. Like, all across the board, I think he's a winner. I don't see that he lost. I'm just kind of checking my notes here, right? And then I'm like, who kind of defines him? Like, what do we kind of set apart with him? Well, you know, we talk about, like, the figures that kind of shaped who he is, or are his measuring sticks. And so we talk about Nolan, and Nolan is like Nolan, to me, now Nolan's kind of positioned as an ideological enemy, and he really is. Nolan's more of a betrayer, because you haven't even proven that you walked away from any of the elements of being a Viltrumite. Nolan is talking a lot of talk. Like they say, some people talk the talk and some people walk the walk. Nolan is talking the talk right now, and you've been talking the talk for months, like literally months, right? And the thing about it is that Nolan's betrayal doesn't undermine anything. It really doesn't. Like, it doesn't. Like, they, you know, I'm just kind of making some references about who I kind of compare him against. Like, you know, these guys are not counters. Like, Mark and all these guys have helped fulfill the Viltrumite mission. If you had a mission, if you had sent out a bunch of Viltrumites to take over, right? Or establish, like, you know, safe places for you guys to colonize. Nolan was the most successful of all those, and Mark was a great tool in helping him do that. Mark facilitated a lot of stuff. Now we know that we can breed with Earth women, and we can continue passing on Viltrumite genes. So I'm sure they have a plan to breed, like, you know, hybrid Viltrumite with full Viltrumite. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole plan. They live forever, right? So maybe, like, Mark the hybrid and Anessa, now you're entering into, like, a more pure, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole genetic engineering. So from the standpoint of what the Viltrumites wanted to accomplish, thank you, Mark. That's the complexity. Like, when you guys are like, Mark's a hero, to the Viltrumites he is. To the Viltrumites, he's 100% a hero. He 100% a hero. You and your dad and your family represent the most successful and our only remaining colonization attempt right now, right? We're down to this. We live here. Thank you guys for keeping the lights on for us and keeping it warm. That's what you guys have done, was created a Viltrumite-friendly environment. We look like you guys. We can easily blend in. All this stuff works. Everybody go down there and get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. This thing is done. In the bag. It's easy peasy. couple of generations for them, right? We're going to live long lives, but a couple of generations for them, they'll start to see the change, how they're not even like the dominant thing on the planet anymore. So he's going to get everything that he wants, right? This is who he gets. And the only like you can see he has levels of respect for some people, right? Like we really see his relationship with Battle Beast, like it's kind of a general respect. Like he respected OGs like that. Game recognized game. So I see a lot like just kind of in his development. Like Thragg is the ultimate, like, man, this is a great mythological point, right? And if you guys are into mythology, let me get a drink so I can kind of explain this to you. Thragg is pure confidence. And this is important as a distinction. And I'm going to tell you guys why this actually matters here. If you guys have heard stories of, if you follow this channel, you probably on some level follow mythology, and I still talk about mythology, just not as much, right? But if you know your Egyptian mythology or your Kemetic mythology or whatever you want to call it now, right? You know the story of Hathor and probably the story of Isis or Osset, right? Let me bring you a Hathor here because I'm a big Hathor fan, right? This is Hathor, right? The 7 Hathors. This is Hathor. She's the goddess. She's like beauty and all that stuff. She's divine, right? She is magical and she's absolutely a badass, right? But the one that you guys probably most know about is Osset, who is called Isis. Like that's who you know her as is Isis, right? She's also known as Osset. And these two represent two very, very different stories for goddesses. This is why they matters, and this is why Thragg is going to matter. And you're going to understand this in a moment here as I continue to cook it. Now, what we know about Hathor is that Hathor has never taken an L in her life. She never lost anything. She's a goddess who operates from pure confidence all the time. That's her gift. That's who she is. Osset, Isis, is a goddess who's been through some shit. Who's had loss, who lost her husband, who had to live in fear, who lost her powers. So she was battle tested in a way that Hathor wasn't or hasn't been, right? But there's advantages to both. Like Osset has gone through and lived through her weakness. She knows what it's like to be down, right? So she knows how to respond to that. Hathor doesn't know any of that stuff, but she always operates from the standpoint of being the strength. Always having absolute conviction in what you do. That's a real advantage. And that's where Thragg is. Thragg operates from, I'm completely sold on what I'm doing. I have no doubts. And although and I get sometimes you want to have introspection, not if you're the leader of an empire that's fighting its way back from almost near extinction. So that's an important thing, is like understanding how people are psychologically coming into it. That's what I would want Thragg to be. Like, this is how he connects them and keeps them relevant. And now that they're there on Earth now, man, I'm waiting for the next season because I don't see how you guys stop this Viltrumite spread. So I wanted to just kind of dig into Thragg a little bit, kind of give a deeper understanding of him. I hope you've done a good job with him. But as always, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you have to say. I got another one coming up for you guys later. So I'm going to chill, get this thing uploaded, and then I'll be back probably around 1 o'clock. And I'll do a second live for you guys today. But I'll talk to you all soon. Get busy, enjoy the rest of your day, and long live Thragg, man. May the Viltrumite Empire